All right, hey, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. All right, this is the brother Shaquat Rakah coming from Great Millstone Temple. All right, coming back at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. All right, and first and foremost, before I start this lesson, this early morning walk and talk, I want to give all honor and all glory that's due to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakakadash. All right, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah being the true names of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son, written in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, for this world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. All right, and I also want to give double honors unto our apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule as well. All right, and as you see right here, you got these kung fu robots and just watching some videos, and filtering things back to the scriptures as we see these prophecies, right? These different events, a lot of scriptures, are playing out. And one thing that's gonna happen is the Lord is gonna be using his men, all right, for these miracles. And you sincere brothers, you hope for elect that's tuned in, you know, you're gonna get spiritual power throughout this time, as we see a lot that's going on right now. You have which right now you got this Hanta virus going out, and putting the spiritual insight on things. This is 2020 all over again. Okay, and we know the scriptures going to how the city of confusion to be broken down, which is talking about America. And at one point, yeah, we know you had the whole 2020 thing, right? And this thing was locked down. You had to be 6 feet away, uh you couldn't go inside these certain areas without your mask. All right. So that's all coming back, but it's gonna be permanent this time. We see we on the bridge of World War III. They're setting up this infrastructure for this MOTB, which is the RFID micro C-hip. You know, this is just a heavy time of prophecy, and we understand in the midst of these things, um, we everybody's gonna be in the midst of this, man. But the difference is, because it's about to get bad out here, and the difference is between us believers and these regular people that's out here. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah is gonna be there for us, man. He's gonna intervene. As I have the term divine intervention in the chat GPT, because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, for you brothers and sisters that's tuning in, the Lord shows us daily, He's with us, throughout whatever we may be going through our different trials, tribulations, the Lord set up for us to overcome, you know, because we're conquerors, man. And you think when we need him the most, he just gonna leave us out here? Hell no. All right, but real quick, I have this precept real quick. Brothers is gonna get that power, man. Um, the book of Isaiah, yeah, of Isaiah 41. I'm gonna start in. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read this in the AMP, Isaiah 41 and verse 13. It says, "For I," and let me do something real quick. Sorry. It's early morning before sunrise. It's a little dark out here, but Jake, want to get my little jog in, But Isaiah 41 and 13, "For I, Yahweh, your God, right, your power, keep hold of your right hand. I am the Lord who says to you, do not fear, I will help you." So we not supposed to be troubled at the different robot dogs, the robots, kung fu robots, Esau Edom kicking down the door, the drones, etc. We not supposed to fear none of that, because the Lord saying, "Don't worry about that. I'm gonna take care of that for you, man." Which really, that's what That's really what the Lord shows us, man. I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, man. Telling you this from experience all through the spirit. The Lord really just telling us, don't even worry about it, man. I got it. I got you. You can't, nobody could prepare carnally for what's about to happen, man. You know, um, Brothers had a midweek sit down. The brother Kwam beautifully went into it with Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah to the brother. Um, Jake, because Jake, right now we supposed to be using this grace period, this liberty we have to try to please Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But the brother was going to say, you got Jakes that may know they Israelites, that know they Israelites, that know the names, but they're not doing nothing. And they think they just going, when that day comes, they just going to be prepared. No, man, you got to prepare yourself now, man. But the Lord showing us he's with us, man. Okay? So, and we put in these situations to overcome. All right, but we can't. The point is, we can't do this on our own, man. But you have, as it says, do not fear, you worm Jacob, you men of Israel. So the Lord likened unto the nation of Israel, right? Which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. He likened unto us as what a worm, and a worm is helpless. And that's us, man. We're helpless, man. But you got the Black Panther Party. You got Jakes that really think they just gonna rebel against the government. They got switches, ammunition. They got 556 cans of green beans. They think they just gonna be prepared. You out your damn mind, man. You gotta be prepared spiritually, and the Lord gotta be with you, man. We can't do this on our own. All right. But it says, I will help you, declares the Lord, Yahweh, and your Redeemer is the Holy One of Israel. So come on, man. So the Lord is our Redeemer. Okay, so that's why brothers, the Lord goes into how I'm actually grab it. He's gonna lift up a standard because this devil's coming with, which I ain't gonna grab it. I'm gonna just roughly quote it. Revelation 12 and 12. As it goes into what? Rejoice ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. And then it goes into how what? This devil's gonna come into great wrath. Why is that? Because he know that he has what? But a short time. And really all these things that's happening, it's all leading to the downfall and the demise of the so-called you know, white man, which is Esau Edom, according to the Bible, witnessing Esau Edom's downfall. All right. And the rise of what? An everlasting kingdom, which is come on, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Scripture's going to what? For how Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we gotta suffer now to really prepare ourselves for the time that's coming. But real quick, Isaiah 59 and verse 19, it says, so shall they fear the name of Yahweh. When you hear that, the name is important, but you got a lot of goofy individuals that'll tell you the Lord, you could call the Lord whatever you want, you know. You could call him. I ain't even gonna repeat what that they said. That shit is bugged out, man. And the Lord's done with that shit, man. Lord had enough of all the nonsense. All right. But it says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahweh from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun. But it says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, yeah, this devil gonna come in with great wrath. All right. Gonna be rolling up on everybody, man, especially you Jakes. They coming for you Jakes first. Okay. But bear with me. But it says Isaiah 59 and verse 19, it says, so should they fear the name of the Lord from the west and his glory from the rising of the sun when the enemy shall come in like a flood. So let's Esau Edom will come with that great wrath on you Israelites, man. And hey, he's gonna roll up on certain brothers too, man. You know, and that's where the Lord gonna have to really intervene. You can't get a Glock, a Keltec, a can of green beans to fucking fight against this, man. You need Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. All right, but it says, The spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. And real quick, we're gonna grab that word standard because this is what the Lord is gonna do with brothers, man. When he presents what that divine intervention, man. When he intervenes, because it ain't gonna be of us. And when these things take place, when these miracles take place, what you think we gonna be doing? Giving all praises, all the glory that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. We gonna be calling on and praising Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. This ain't of us, man. But yeah, real quick. This is play
Strong's
it real quick.
H 5127. Noose. Noose.
Okay. Noose. It says noose. It says to flee, escape, right? To flee, to escape, to take flight. Brothers gonna be flying out here. You know, you watch these different superhero movies. Um, you know, the hot one right now is Invincible, right? Which I fuck with that show. All right, you got these Marvel movies, you know, etc. Man, you got Spider-Man, the X-Men, Super Saiyans, Vulture Mics. That's us, man. That's the Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah's man. Okay, it says depart and disappear. Brother's gonna be teleporting, and we got accounts with our forefathers. Was it what? It was Daniel. You know, just Salakia. Just had a quick call, but what I was trying to do, yeah, who teleported? Yeah, Habakkuk. Let me just fact check it. Who teleported to the an alliance thing? That was Habakkuk, man. Hold on. The hell Chat GBT got going on? Yeah, it was Habakkuk. But real quick though, and I'm gonna grab a few more scriptures. But real quick, had a brain fart. This is a divine intervention, right? And I typed in the chat. It says religious meaning. Check this out. In many religions, which it's only one true doctrine, all right? But it says it describes moments when a deity actively steps into God, so like in to help God punish or change outcomes. And that's what Yahweh Bashim Shah does. Literally does that for us daily. All right. It says, for example, miracles. I gotta go back to the book of Acts. All right. Definitely a beautiful book to read. All right, going into how the Yahweh Shah had the 12 out there performing the miracles, man, in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, which is nothing new under the sun. That's gonna come back. All right. Acts 2.0. But it says studying meaningful coincidences and interpreted as guidance, protection from danger. And I'm just thinking about Psalms 91. A thousand shall fall at thy left, at that right, roughly paraphrasing, but no evil shall come upon thee. You know, roughly paraphrasing. Lord's gonna be with us, man. Because we're definitely gonna need him the most, which we need him daily. All right. But it says verse 2. I ain't reading verse 2. Yeah, really one was they're doing the extra with that, man. But let me go back to this word standard, right? Says to flee, escape, take flight, depart, disappear, to fly, to the attack on horseback, to drive at, to take flight, to put to flight, to drive hastily, to cause, to disappear, hide. So brothers gonna be doing some miraculous things, man. Which as the Lord did say in the book of real quick, because we know the Lord was out there performing the miracles, man. You know, you could read about them in the Gospels, right? But it's James 1. Bear with me. Oh, it was in John. I don't know. I thought it was James. This is the book of John. Yeah, Gospels. The book of John, chapter 14 and verse 12. All right, in the KJV, it says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me. So it all stems back to belief, man. You gotta believe, and I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, man. You just gotta believe on your Bashim Yahushua and everything, man. That's really all the Lord is looking for. Do you believe? It don't matter how much you know, no matter how fancy your garment is, how many fringes you got in your shirt. Do you believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? Do you believe on this word? And that's what the Lord is just showing us. Do you believe? Because when he comes back, what he's gonna be looking for? Faith. He says, What? Shall I find faith on earth? Right? Because that's how bad it's gonna be. But it says, The works that I do shall he do also. So it's about yeah, we tell you the great destruction, the great distress, calamity that's coming upon this place. But the Lord is all about a balance. Because not only that, the Lord gonna have brothers doing marvelous, fantastic miracles, man. Things out of this world. And there's a high chance the Lord may use you, brother, whoever's watching. All right. But it says, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go into my father. So Yahweh Shai, like, yo, that's my man. We put him through this, he got through that. He's still believing on me. He's still calling on me. He's still praying upon me. So guess what? I'm gonna intervene in that. I'm gonna intervene in that individual, because that's why we going through the trials, the tribulations. Because the Lord is looking at who you are. Who are you? That's what the Lord is looking for. He's testing our character, our integrity. Okay, that's why we're being tried as the gold in the fire, because the Lord ain't just gonna give spiritual power to just anybody. You give spiritual power, the brother I borrowed going Salakia, but hey, but Yahweh Bashim Shah, he's like, that's my man. He's just testing us, because you can't just give spiritual power to just a regular dude, because he's gonna try to spin on an ox block. And really, the Lord's gonna put his indignation on us, man. And that's why we're gonna get new bodies, etc. And we're gonna have we're gonna have the Lord's mind, right? We're gonna be our body is gonna be programmed to nothing but righteousness, man. Okay. And the Lord's gonna have his indignation, his righteous anger on us, man. All right, because we know through the spirit, the water Yahweh Shemi outside, we know what's up. We know why this is happening, that's happening. We know who our enemy is, man. And all Jake just want rest, man. And we want to see the downfall of our enemy, man, who's been oppressing us all these years, man. All right, but real quick, I'm gonna close out with this. The book of let me see. Lord talked about what? A battle axe. You know, Lord's making walking weapons out. You got some walking weapons around here, man. You don't know who is who. This is the book of Jeremiah, right? Chapter 50 and verse 20. And I'm gonna close it out. It says, Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. All right. It says, For with thee, and this is that divine intervention. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So Lord got some walking weapons around here, and he gonna intervene through certain brothers. All right, and there's a high chance it may be you, brother, whoever's watching. Lord's gonna intervene through you. All right, have you out here performing miracles, man, leading people. All right, and slaying and putting shit in order, man. Cause this place is through, man. All right, we're gonna be putting shit in order. All right, under the subjection of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is gonna get this place right, man. This place in order. All right, so hey, with that. Lord's will, I pray this lesson was edifying. Lord's will, exhorting. All right, to you sincere Akim, to you hopeful elect, to you sincere Akim, and you very few, and I mean you very few Aqua that's tuned in, that wholeheartedly, sincerely believe on his word. And once again, before I close out, I want to give all honor and glory. Let's do to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakadash. And once again, I want to give double honors unto our apostles and bishops of Great Millstone who taught us the truth and rule us well. And with that, I'm going to say, Shalom. All right, Yahweh, Rak meaning Lord's will. On